Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I forgot to tell you that I was also smoking some sausage on my smoker today. I just took the sausage off and wrapped it up in some tin foil for later, and that's some good smoked sausage. I still have my 3 butts on there. They were big pork butts, and so they're taking a little while. I like to get my butts to an internal temperature of about 190 degrees, just in case you were wondering. That's how you know it is ready to go, and it'll pull apart. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but just so you know, the way I do a Boston butt is real simple. I put rub on it, and then I put it in the smoker at 225, and I let it go for 4 or 5 hours to get the smoke good and in there, and then when the internal temperature hits around, I think it's 165 or so, that's when I wrap it, and then I'll put it back on the smoker wrapped in tin foil. Well, first, when I take it off, I put some apple cider vinegar on it, or apple cider, and then wrap it, and then put it back in the smoker until the internal temperature reaches 190 degrees, and that's when a butt is perfect. It's really pretty simple. And any of you that want to know the butt, the rub that I use, it's just let me know you want it, and I'll let you know what it is. It's a place out of Atlanta called Barbecue One, where you can get it. But their pork rub is the best I've ever had. Okay, first from Chinu Patil. What I'm about to show you is really unbelievable. I've been saying that CNBC would become the biggest cheerleaders for Bitcoin for quite some time. Well, they are now cheerleaders for Bitcoin, folks. Joe Kernan's the #1 cheerleader, but this video that Chinu Patel sent me at Chinu Patel 29, this video from Squawk Box. Go to @Squawk CNBC. Who has the biggest vested interest in things staying the way they are? Asks Joe. This is Joe Kernan, I think I'm saying that right. Joe Kernan. He's the guy on the right, and he literally, let me show you here, says, who has the biggest vested interest in things staying the way they are? And he asked why President of the United States may not support Bitcoin and Facebook's Libra. These people, not only is Joe Kernan says that he could go and talk to the president and make him understand why Bitcoin is better. And then they start talking in this clip, all of them, they start having a discussion about how Bitcoin and digital assets were born out of the financial crisis. I mean, I'm almost convinced that they've been listening to me, because it's almost word for word what I've been saying. And these people are finally starting to get it. And it's maybe they're only getting it because they're anti-Trump or something, and they want to take the other side. Who knows? But I think Joe Kernan is pretty digital asset friendly at this point. But it's a really surreal video. But part of what he talks about, Joe Kernan talks about in this video, is this tweet reply to Donald Trump by Tyler Winklevoss. We have elected, this is when Donald Trump says, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, We have elected to put our money and faith in a mathematical framework that is free of politics and human error and government, which he didn't mention. I'll mention that. That is the problem. He captures it in that one line right there. He captures the reason that digital assets were born is they want it to be free of all of this money printing and being dependent on what the Fed's going to do and this and that and QE and bailouts and bail-ins and all this garbage, all this stuff that is rooted in dishonesty and distrust. That is why this stuff came about, and that is why it's going to take over the world. And it's funny to watch CNBC finally starting to get this. Next, this was from Jeremy Allaire. He is the CEO of Circle, which is owned by Goldman Sachs, or Goldman Sachs is an investor in it. Circle also owns Poloniex. He's tweeting Donald Trump's Bitcoin tweet. Possibly the largest bull signal for Bitcoin ever. Crypto now a presidential global policy issue. People everywhere will embrace a mix of sovereign and non-sovereign digital currency. He is 1,000% right. Okay, next, this was from XRP Darren. He caught this. I thought it was interesting. At Fame21 More. Interesting. He said cryptocurrencies at first, then later says crypto assets. Is XRP a regulated crypto asset? But as I've said many times on this channel, words mean things. Up here it says, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And then here he says volatile based on thin air, unregulated crypto assets. And then down here he says unregulated crypto assets. So they just picked up on the wording there and thought that was interesting. Okay, from Michael Devlin, the fact that Donald Trump is even mentioning Bitcoin publicly tells you that mass adoption of digital currencies is inbound. Fiat is the dial-up of the world's financial system, and digital assets are the 4G solution that will finally pull unbanked regions into a level playing field. He worded that exactly right. I like it. Next, from XRP Veteran. I guess he's referring to the market going down in the last few days and the things that you start to see and psychologically how people react to the markets. There are two different types of investors in the XRP community. One, investing on the price movements, panic sellers, FOMO buyers, weak, FUD-sensitive, short-term, dumb money. Two, investing on the fundamentals movements, hodlers, trust, educated, knowledge, long-term, smart money. Looking at Ripple, looking at the use cases that they're working on for XRP and the other use cases that are being worked on, and all of the different reasons about Wall Street and the money that's coming in, those are the big picture things that are important. All this stuff about what's happening today and all that is irrelevant pap, doesn't mean anything. What matters is the big picture of what is happening. Okay, XRP Dave at the Davey92 sent me this one. Let's see. This is where, I was laughing because Trump was talking about the dollar, but back on September 29th of 2011, he said something that's actually completely true. The Fed's reckless policies of low interest and flooding the market with dollars needs to be stopped, or we will face record inflation. And then he comes down here. This is the tweet from today, and they're basically showing the hypocrisy of this. I agree with this Donald Trump, not with this Donald Trump. He was right. He was right the first time. Okay, now I love to show you John McAfee clips, and normally because it's kind of funny, and I think that he's like almost too smart for his own good. But this is his response to Donald Trump regarding Trump's dislike of cryptocurrency, and he actually makes some very intelligent insights. And I'm not saying he doesn't other times. He's a very intelligent guy. I'm fascinated by this guy's personality. But in this one, he made some particularly intelligent comments. He was referring to how Trump was saying that this is used for, digital currencies are used for criminal activity and this and that. Well, McAfee made a couple of very interesting points. He said with all new technologies, criminals will find new ways to do their criminal activity. He talked about the invention of the phone and how that allowed criminals to better communicate with each other. Imagine what criminals are able to do with cell phones now and satellite phones and things like that, and GPS. And then he goes on and he talked about the invention of the car and how when the car was invented, all of a sudden bank robbers had getaway cars. And that once you had getaway cars, there was a spike in the number of bank robberies because they could now get away faster. And did that mean we don't need cars? I mean, so he illustrates this a perfect point that he's making there. And so I give McAfee credit here. Next from Lionel at Lionel 462945550 sent me this one. And I just thought that this was a good tweet from the World Bank. I think this is as I keep telling you, words mean things. Prepare for disruption. Technological developments will change tomorrow's workplace. Get ready by signing up for the World Bank's open online course. So you can go and see their course there. Then King Solomon put out a good tweet at XRP_OWL. Exactly why legacy financial systems will adapt or die. How to transfer money between banks. Apparently this is an article that's like a Business Insider article that's actually telling you how to transfer money between banks. Bank-to-bank transfer, 1 to 3 days. ACH transfer, 2 to 3 days. Wire transfer, 1 day. XRP, less than 6 seconds. What a comical article. I thought that was funny. Okay, Savvy XRP_ sent me this. The managing director of the State Bank of India has been appointed as managing director and chief financial officer of the World Bank. It's clear that India is becoming a force in this new era of finance. Side note, India runs on Ripple. Exactly, folks. I think India is going to be one of the biggest players in crypto sooner rather than later. And finally, I wanted to show you all this. You can go see this. Cryptocurrency at crypto_goat_. Put the entire Anthony Pompliano video interview with CNBC this morning. With Bitcoin, there is no CEO. You can't send a letter or send somebody in for a hearing. But Anthony Pompliano was on fire this morning. If you haven't seen this, this is worth watching the total video. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor smoked sausage and 3 pork butts today, and I will enjoy them. Have a good weekend, and thanks for listening.